Next on Currents News, Pope Francis is in Thailand tonight on the first stop of his week-long mission to Asia. A key impeachment witness testified today he was following the president's orders to pressure Ukraine.
The United States Postal Service is kicking off its annual tradition to help spread some holiday cheer. I'm Tim Harfman. I'll tell you how they're helping children write letters to Santa. That's coming up.
Plus, a Queen's Catholic Academy is the only one of its kind offering classes that are needed today more than ever. The news starts right now. A warm welcome from young people for Pope Francis as he lands in Thailand. Good evening, I'm Tamara Lane. The Holy Father arrived at Bangkok's airport this morning. Thailand is the first stop on his 7-day mission to Asia that also includes a visit to Japan. Currents News' Michelle Powers reports on the joyous arrival and the long flight over.
Shortly after the papal plane took off from Rome, the Pope greeted all the journalists on board.
Buonasera a tutti voi, grazie per accompagnarmi in questo viaggio e grazie del vostro lavoro che fa tanto bene alla gente essere informata e anche conoscere queste culture che sono lontane da Occidente. Grazie del vostro sforzo.
He then took the time to meet these 70 reporters, cameramen, and photographers one by one. He also had time to bless a picture of a sick person. The trip lasted a little over 11 hours. The Pope landed in Bangkok at 12 noon local time. A large crowd of military officials, clergy, and children sporting traditional garb waited for him on the tarmac. Besides this official welcoming committee, a group of everyday people were also waiting. But the first person he affectionately greeted was his cousin, Sister Anna Rosa Savory, who will be his interpreter for part of his visit to Thailand. Then Pope Francis said hello to the representatives of the Royal Council, who gifted him with a floral necklace on behalf of the country. Throughout the arrival, cannons could be heard in the background. With a big smile on his face, the Pope greeted Bangkok's Cardinal Francis Kovettivani and other bishops. He also spent some time with children at the airport. Pope Francis will rest today. Tomorrow he will start his officially scheduled meetings with the Prime Minister of Thailand. Michelle Powers, Currents News.
Cardinal Michael KITBUNCHU was at the airport this morning to welcome Francis to his city. The Cardinal is the retired Archbishop of Bangkok, and he was there years ago to greet the only other Pope to visit Thailand, John Paul II.
It was very blessing of God to the Church of Thailand and the blessing to the people of Thailand, especially to the Catholic Church in Thailand too. The second visit of the Pope after 36 years ago, Pope Francis, it will be very important event in the history of Catholic Church in Thailand. Catholic Church in Thailand try to commemorate the activity of the first missionary who came to Thailand 300 years ago, so that the Pope visit to Thailand, it would be the evangelization, the good news, and the blessing of God upon Thailand and the Catholic Church in Thailand as such.
Cardinal KITBUNCHU is also hoping the Pope's visit will create understanding among Thai people of different cultures and beliefs. Stay with us. Moments away, the Consul-General of Thailand based in New York will join us. He'll be talking about the importance of the Pope's visit to his country. That's still ahead in this newscast. While the Pope brings a message of peace to Asia, serious violence erupted inside a Nicaragua church. Backers of Daniel Ortega's regime invaded the cathedral. The mob attacked the cathedral's vicar, Father Rodolfo Lopez, and a nun who serves as the church's administrator. According to the Managua Archdiocese, The religious are okay, but the church has been damaged. The thugs were trying to break up a hunger strike at the cathedral staged by mothers of political prisoners. The Democrats investigating President Trump summoned an ambassador to Capitol Hill today. They're calling him a key witness in the impeachment investigation with first-hand knowledge of the dealings with Ukraine. Camila Bernal reports the latest.
A witness who both Republicans and Democrats say helps their case.
I was acting in good faith. As a presidential appointee, I followed the directions of the president.
Gordon Sondland, U.S. Ambassador to the European Union, testifying that there was a quid pro quo for Ukraine to announce investigations into President Trump's political opponents.
Mr. Giuliani demanded that Ukraine make a public statement announcing the investigations of the 2016 election, DNC server, and Burisma. Mr. Giuliani was expressing the desires of the President of the United States.
The ambassador also saying the vice president, the secretary of state, and other top White House officials were all in the loop on what was going on with regards to Ukraine.
Today's testimony is among the most significant evidence to date.
Republicans, meanwhile, highlighting what Sondland repeatedly told the committee, that Trump never told him directly that security assistance was tied to the announcement of investigations.
And he just said, I want nothing. I want nothing. I want no quid pro quo.
President echoing this from the White House lawn.
I want nothing. That's what I want from Ukraine. That's what I said.
Camila Bernal, Currents News.
A plot to attack a Georgia church and kill as many people as possible has been stopped. The suspect in custody is a 16-year-old girl. The pastor of the Bethel AME Church is reassuring her congregation.
Try to let them know, let us be not afraid, because it tells us that God is with us.
Gainesville, Georgia police say the teen researched white supremacy on the internet and put together a detailed notebook outlining her plans. The FBI in New York is launching an investigation into whether a criminal enterprise played a role in the death of Jeffrey Epstein. The city medical examiner ruled the sex trafficking suspect committed suicide in a Manhattan prison. At the same time, guards assigned to watch Epstein are facing criminal charges.
It is our hope that we'll be able to reach a reasonable agreement in this case. If we cannot, after we've reviewed the evidence, we'll be prepared to defend them in this case moving forward.
A federal grand jury charged Michael Thomas and Tova Noel with conspiracy and filing false records. They've pleaded not guilty. The top 10 Democrats running for the White House will square off tonight in Atlanta. The contenders will debate with less than 11 weeks before the Iowa caucuses. Mayor Pete Buttigieg could be the target since he's moved to the top of the polls in Iowa. We'll have full coverage of the debate on tomorrow's newscast. There's news from the post office tonight, and it's good. They're getting ready for Christmas, and the kids who are writing to Santa Claus. Currents News' Tim Harfmann reports from Cadman Plaza in downtown Brooklyn.
The United States Postal Service is delivering some magic this Christmas season.
It's been a long tradition of us creating a way where people can really help families in need.
It's the 107th annual Operation Santa campaign. Children write letters to the Jolly Man and mail them to him at the North Pole. The Postal Service lets other people adopt the requests and bring gifts to local post offices.
Yeah, you get to play Santa, you get to help the kids this season.
Amy Bolger is helping to kick off the campaign at the Cadman Plaza Post Office in downtown Brooklyn. She says children often ask for toys or clothes, but sometimes the request is a lot harder to fulfill.
Sometimes you get a kid who's asking for, my dad needs a job. All these things really, they do tug at your heartstrings.
18-year-old Anna Rideau is writing to Santa, hoping he can help others.
I ask for health and happiness to people. People need kind of kindness or something to help them out.
When a child receives a present in the mail, the package will read, "From Santa."
Giving back could actually benefit majority of people because they could feel like they have a place in the world.
To help them sort the mail, the post office is asking to write to Santa at 123 Elf Road, North Pole 88888. And if you know a child who wants to send their wish to Santa, their letter must be postmarked by December 14th. In downtown Brooklyn, Tim Harfmann, Currents News.
There's a lot more news headed your way. We'll learn about the profound impact the papal visit is having on the people of Thailand and how very special it is for the Catholic community living there.
天父，愿你的名受渲染。
The Our Father in Mandarin, part of a unique language program being offered at one local Catholic academy that's changing the lives of students from diverse backgrounds. And later, the inspirational story of a young boy who lost his mother. He tells his adopted family that he knows for sure she's in heaven. Do you have a story idea or want to share a tip? Email us at newstips@desalesmedia.org or call our 24-hour number, 718-517-3122. We'll be right back. More on tonight's top story, the Pope in Asia. He's in Thailand and the nation is busy preparing the places he'll visit during his 3-day stay. The biggest event on his schedule is an outdoor mass at the National Stadium tomorrow. He'll also be going to a Buddhist temple to meet with the Supreme Patriarch of Thailand's largest religion. And before he leaves, Francis will celebrate Mass with young people at the Cathedral of the Assumption. The Holy Father's journey to Thailand is causing a lot of excitement among the nation's people. Joining us now is Thailand's Consul-General in New York, Nippon Petpon Pawpad. Minister Consul-General, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Tamara, for having me.
Why is the Pope's visit to your country so important?
We have been waiting for this moment for 35 years. Pope Francis' visit is very, very important to Thailand. It coincides with the 350 anniversaries of the founding of the Catholic mission in Thailand, and also it marks the 50th anniversary of the establishment of the diplomatic relations between the Kingdom of Thailand and Holy See. We are confident that Pope Francis' visit will further strengthen the Thai and Holy See relationship, will help reinforce the Catholic faith in Thailand, and of course will promote the interfaith dialogue between Catholics and Buddhists who are the majority in Thailand.
And Pope Francis has said he hopes that his journey will strengthen the bonds of friendship with many of his Buddhist brothers and sisters. Can you talk about, what the Pope is saying there and what Christians should know about the nation?
Well, about 95% of Thailand's 68 population are Buddhist, and Catholics account for only 0.4% or less than 400,000. Nevertheless, the Thai people, regardless of their religious belief, we live in harmony, and we never have any religious conflict among ourselves.
So as you said, the Vatican has had diplomatic relations with Thailand for 50 years. Can you tell us about the significance of that relationship really quick?
Yeah, the relationship between Thailand and Holy See has been very close and cordial. Actually, our relationship dated back to 1662. There has been exchange of high-level visits between the two sides. I give you an example. The most recent one was when 1960, when His Majesty King Bhumibol Adulyadej had an audience with Pope John XXIII in Vatican, and later in 1984, King Bhumibol Adulyadej received Saint John Paul II during his official visit to Thailand in 1984.
So as you're saying, that the ties have been a long time.
It's a long time
in the making.
Yes, very, very long.
Well, I want to talk about something that's been really predominant in the news, which is religious freedom. In Thailand, obviously, you have a strong religious freedom. However, religious persecution is growing in many countries around the world. What can Thailand teach other countries about religious freedom?
Well, Thailand is a literal means lands of the free, and the Thai people enjoy freedom in almost every aspect, of course, including religious freedom. The Thai Constitution guarantees religious liberty for all the Thai citizens. who coexist in peace and harmony. Yeah, I think we can serve as a model for other countries.
Nippon Petpon Papad, the Consul-General in New York, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Currents News in the Tablet will have continuing coverage of the Pope in Asia. You'll get the latest on the Holy Father's week-long journey right here and online at thetablet.org. It's the first of its kind in New York, and it's happening right here in the Brooklyn Diocese, a foreign language program that is changing the way students at one elementary school are learning. Currents News' Emily Drewby tells us why this exceptional curriculum is so important.
Pete swings the bat.
Inside St. Michael's Catholic Academy in Flushing, Queens, students learn in English and in Mandarin. The school says the dual language program of Mandarin and English is the only one offered in a Catholic elementary school anywhere in New York State, and it's needed now more than ever. The number of Americans speaking a foreign language at home has exploded over the past 30 years. In 1990, about 30 million people in the U.S. spoke a language other than English at home. That number more than doubled by 2018 with over 67 million. Most of those people speak Spanish or Chinese.
The Chinese population is so big in the world. It's so popular.
Sister Martina Ho teaches Mandarin at St. Michael's. The program is an immersion curriculum where sometimes students learn other subjects like math and Mandarin too.
We're preparing them for the future. We're working, and research does show that learning a second language, a bilingual brain, does improve your cognition.
Developed by Boston College, it allows students who speak a second language at home to grow those skills while in school.
My favorite classes are technology and science. 我们去电脑课的时候，我们就可以学东西，比如
But it also teaches the language to students who don't speak it at home, like Gabriela, who learned Spanish from her parents and Mandarin at school. Through the program, Gabriela has become fluent enough to say the Our Father.
我们的天父，愿你的名受显然。
The program has been around for about 7 years, and St. Michael's plans on growing it. In Flushing, Emily Drewby, Currents News.
Still to come on Currents News, Bishop DiMarzio on the accusations made against him and how he is overwhelmed by the amazing outpouring of support from within the diocese and beyond. And then an uplifting and heartwarming message from a special needs child who just lost his mother. It's what everyone of faith should hear. This week's tablet is providing comprehensive coverage of something important to every parishioner in Brooklyn and Queens. Bishop DiMarzio is firmly denying the allegation by a lawyer that his client was sexually abused by Bishop DiMarzio decades ago. In the tablet, the bishop is writing about the strong support he's receiving from people in the diocese. Editor-in-Chief Jorge Dominguez joins us now. Jorge, thanks so much for being with us.
Oh, thank you, Tamara.
The bishop has dedicated his column to a little bit of this. Can you tell us what he wrote about?
Well, the column actually is about the ad limina visit. All the bishops from the New York regions were in Rome to meet the Pope this week, and during that week, the allegation came out. And the bishop starts his column addressing the allegation and saying several important things. First, that of course he denies the allegation. Second thing, that he knows people should have the right to know, and he will explain everything transparently, to the readers of the tablet. And the third thing that is very important, and I think everybody should read, is he talks about what he talked with the Pope about the allegation. So in that sense, it's a must read. I think, I say every week you should read the tablet. This week is really a must read for every Catholic in Brooklyn and Queens.
Now the tablet is also providing in-depth coverage on this. What can readers expect?
Well, we try to approach this situation from every angle. There is an in-depth article about the timeline of the allegation, because it's very important to understand what's happening here. If you see the timeline, it is related to the Buffalo investigation. It is related to other issues that you should know about. And on the other hand, in that in-depth article, we have the response of people in the diocese, priests, parishioners, even survivors of sexual abuse, and they come out supporting the bishop. So, and we have the response from the Diocese of Camden and explaining the background of this problem and how Bishop DiMarzio have been working about, to eradicate sexual abuse in the church for many years. You will have the whole story in the tablet, really.
And what are you writing about in your column?
Well, my column was related to this issue too. I do an analysis about how AP and the New York Times have treated this news and how, what it was lacking in their coverage. And I think you are going to get in the tablet what the other coverage in the secular press was lacking.
Okay, jam-packed. Jorge Dominguez, Editor-in-Chief of The Tablet, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Tamara.
The Tablet needs your support to ensure that Catholic journalism will thrive well into the future. You can do so by purchasing the paper at your parish or subscribing to the Tablet so that it comes right to your mailbox. You'll save up to 55% by having it delivered to your home versus paying for it at church. Go to the website thetablet.org/home55 or call 877-883-8356. And please check out one of the latest features in the Tablet, the Our Diocesan Family page. That's where you can send in photos of your family receiving certain sacraments, such as baptism, First Communion, confirmation, and marriage. For more information and to submit your pictures, go to thetablet.org/ourdiocesanfamily. Finally tonight, a promise fulfilled from a mom to a mom. As Jean Manning was battling deadly breast cancer, she was worried about what would happen to her son Jake, who has Down syndrome. That's when a guardian angel stepped in and offered the young man a home. Mary Sladna reports on this uplifting story.
I fell in love with him instantly, and as she got sicker that year, I just thought, what is she going to do?
KERRY BREMER met Jake and his mom, Jean Manning, over 4 years ago. She knew Jean was battling terminal breast cancer. After talking to her husband and 3 children, KERRY made Jean an offer, mom to mom.
If you need a backup plan for Jake, then our family is happy to make him part of our family. And she said, I'll sleep better tonight than I've slept in a long time.
Jake spent the next few years getting to know KERRY's family, sharing weekends and holidays. Her kids, Caitlin, Kristen, and Jonathan, quickly embraced Jake's loving and joyful nature. And Dave, well, he was an easy sell.
When I first met him, when he was back in KERRY's class, it was fun. But when we first decided to do this and I met him, it was, your dad? You're Dave the dad? And that was it. For a very long time, I was Dave the dad.
Then last week, in a heartbeat, Jean was gone. She took a post-chemo nap and never woke up. Jake's backup family was ready.
My mom went to heaven. Queen is your mom.
She's your queen angel mom.
It's always in my heart. Yes, she loves me so much.
She did love
you
you
so
much.
Do you love her so much? Yeah. Oh, why, thank you.
What does he give back to you?
Oh, everything. Everything.
And KERRY says the real hero is Jean, a dying mom who selflessly prepared her son for a safe and loving future.
We shared our boy, and she will live on here in this house.
That was Mary Sladna reporting. The Bremers are now Jake's guardians, and the world needs more angels like them. That is Currents News. I'm Tamara Lane. Thank you for joining us because we are putting your faith in the news. Hope to see you again next time.